So for today's adventure, we are in the Okanogan National Forest doing the hike to Mount Bonaparte. We're coming in via the South Side Trail, which is accessed off of Forest Service Road 100 directly above Bonaparte Lake. We're expecting the hike today to be about 11 miles round trip with 3,200 feet of elevation gain. Anyways, today's adventure, Mount Bonaparte via the South Side Trail. So we just clipped off mile number 1 with 740 feet of elevation gain. So above the 500 foot per mile mark that I think makes a trail a little bit more strenuous. So this is going to be officially a leg day hike. It's about 1.8 miles and 1,200 feet of elevation gain. We're on a milder section of trail now, making our way via the South Side Trail over to the Mount Bonaparte Trail. We'll hit that in a little bit. Anyways, you can see the fire really devastated this. This is going to be a blow down heaven in a couple more years. So right at 2.2 miles, and we have hit our second water source for the day, which means it's time for the dog to have a water break. Good dog.
He's so cute.
Get some drinks. Oh, look at that pool down there. That's where she needs to go. Go ahead. Good girl.
Okay.
Go ahead.
You can do it. Is it pokey?
It's a big chunk of granite, isn't it?
Here's the fork. You stay right.
If that's the 4th of July Ridge Trail, yeah, we stay to the right. No sign on it though, is there?
Nope.
I'll just double check the map real quickly. I think it is the 4th of July Trail though. Hold on one second. So 3.1 miles in now, and we're out of the burned out zone finally and into the forest. You can't see the granite. It's amazing the amount of debris that's on the ground. The fuel for forest fires is just incredible. So almost 3.3 miles and about 1,300 feet of elevation gain. We're hitting the intersection with the Bonaparte Trail up to the Bonaparte Lookout. We're now at 4 miles and 1,900 feet of elevation gain. So we think that we have about 1.25 miles left to go. And once we hit the Bonaparte Trail, it just really started to get relentlessly uphill. So that's been a grand time, right, Beck?
I don't know. I like uphill.
You like uphill. I like downhill. I prefer the down. So 5.1 miles and about 2,700 feet of elevation gain. We're arriving at Mount Bonaparte and the Mount Bonaparte Fire Lookout. That was a tough leg day hike.
So much bigger than the mountain. There used to be 2 or another little house.
Maybe a house? Hard to tell. Have to read the history of it, I guess.
Maybe a house, because I think they're just house.
So you'd have to get up on the lookout itself to get the good views, wouldn't you? Well, we'll try. We'll see. We'll see what it lets us do. I'm gonna get a picture from over here real quickly, and then we can check it out. I can see the far end of the meadow that's just south of Bonaparte Lake from here. That's a great view though. I'm coming. It's only gonna let us go a little way up, a little ways up. That's too bad, it's locked there, isn't it? So that's as far up as we can get. That must be the outhouse right over there. See the pathway? I think it's to their outhouse. Unfortunately, I was hoping we'd be able to get up on the lookout deck and get the 360 walk around. So 7.2 miles, and we're arriving back at the trail intersection with the South Side Trail. Of note, the sign at the trailhead for the South Side Trail indicated that it was 8 miles to Bonaparte Lookout, and that mileage is way off. It was actually closer to 5.2 if we take the average across the GPS devices that we have with us. So about 2.8 miles shorter than what the sign indicated. And a 10.5 mile hike, which is what we were expecting, is a lot better than a 16-mile hike, which is what the sign would lead you to believe. So anyways, 5.25 to Bonaparte Lookout from the trailhead, not 8. So we're back into the burned out area from the last forest fire. And as tragic as a forest fire is, the serendipitous part of it is that the fire has really exposed the granite. And I think some of the granite that we've seen on this trip has been one of the trip highlights. So a little bit of serendipity in the face of tragedy. The other thing to notice in the burn area is all this green on the forest floor. It's just thousands of seedlings. So in 10 years, you won't see the granite. It's just a blanket of seedlings. So 10.3 miles and almost 2,900 feet of elevation gain. We're arriving back at the trailhead. So we're going to call Mount Bonaparte and the Bonaparte Lookout. They're in the bag. Fantastic hike, leg day hike, so it was tough. The Bonaparte Lookout was fantastic. Unfortunately, it was closed, so we didn't get to go up on the lookout deck. But Bonaparte Lookout is in the bag, and Rebecca says, "Get outside and get a shower."